Conversation that Jibola had about what can be done to reduce the cost of living here in Nigeria. We are moving to issues of security, and we are looking at community policing and citizens' engagement. And this is a very crucial topic that concerns everyone. And joining us on the conversation here today is Lukman Eniton Aminu. He is a spokesperson, Lagos State Community Policing Committee and Southwest Geopolitical Region Youth Coordinator of the Police Community Relations Committee. That is the PCRC.
Look at me smiling. That was such a tongue twister.
Glad to have you on the conversation. Good morning. We're discussing community policing and citizens' engagement. Now, before we delve into what community policing is, I want to start from the citizens' engagement aspect. How crucial is it for citizens to be fully engaged in issues that has to do with policing their communities?
Citizens cannot shy away from the fact that policing is a collective responsibility. Let us use the word policing, not police.
Policing.
That means if I have a car, what do I do to protect my car? I live in a house. What do I do to protect my house? What do I do to do the same thing to the neighbor beside me, in extension to the entire community? So there is no way citizens will say they don't have any business with policing, the word policing. At times, just for you to see a child do something wrong, and you're like, hey, let me scold him. You are policing the child.
Okay, sorry. So policing now is when you see something, you
say something,
you say
and
something,
you even act.
and you act on it.
So when you are not the right person to act, the right thing to do is to report to those that should ask the right people to act.
Okay.
So community engagement and policing is a very wide concept because it involves everybody.
Okay.
So we used to say policing is everybody's responsibility. Adults, youths, children, just like I said, correcting someone is an act of policing, because if you didn't see that mistake and correct it and you overlooked it, it might become a much more disastrous problem. So we all do this collectively, subconsciously at times. So at times we have to know that as much as we are doing it subconsciously, we should also learn a way of doing it in collaboration with all security agencies.
Okay. So policing is for everybody. Everybody is a stakeholder when it comes to policing.
Yes.
So how is it now crucial, to a state like Lagos?
Okay, I'll say the decadence we can see in Lagos, which is out of our inability, I would say our lackadaisical attitude to policing. Those young people that we are now seeing are miscreants, are peddling drugs, are taking drugs, are causing mayhem in our communities. They were a function of the fact that many of us, the community, looked away, shied away from small things they were doing when it was smaller. And now that it has now become bigger, we are now seeing it as a big issue. So really, if we all involve ourselves, participate actively in policing, we can't say a society will be totally free of crime, but it will be very minimal, the barest minimal. If possible, crime will almost be as if it is not in existence. And that is why our engagement, our participation is very, very important.
Okay, is LASMA, LNSC, are they part of community policing in Lagos State?
I would say all government agencies, not just the uniform agencies.
Okay. Are we police too?
Yes.
Okay.
The media people also police private sector, police the government. At times you quiz them some questions. Those questions you are quizzing is an act of policing.
We are quizzing you.
You are quizzing. It's an act of policing.
Policing you.
Okay.
So when we are now looking at it just because someone is in uniform. Okay, let me use an instance. A staff of Ministry of Environment who passes by the roadside and realizes the pipe of water passing this place is leaking and calls the attention of the ministry. Please, Water Corporation should come and fix this thing. He has just policed that place rightly. If he had overlooked it, a small hole can become the reason why the entire community will not have water in another 1-2 weeks, or the entire community will have contaminated water. So it is not just about people in uniform.
Okay.
Fine, they are the official policing people, but all of us, we are all part of the policing system.
Okay.
I still want to take you back to the part of citizens' engagement now. Looking at it from the role of citizens in community policing. Now we are in a time where it is the mind your business kind of life we are living now. Everybody is minding their business. Some people see something that ought not to be done and you just throw your face the other way. I want us to look at some of the reasons that might be aiding this kind of lifestyle that we have here today.
I would not want to totally agree that we're in a mind your business situation. It's a function of the fact that we are paying lackadaisical attitude to the action policing. We are seeing it from the small level as it is growing, but we are trying to say, no, it does not concern me. It's not my child.
That's minding
But
your
eventually,
business.
it does not concern me today. It's not my child. He did it in the house. It does not concern me. It's not my child. He went to the next house. It does not concern me. It's not my child. When he now comes to your own house, you know, he's already growing gradually in that crime. When he now comes into your house, that is when you now realize, so it concerns me.
You now.
So citizens have a very, very serious role to play in policing. You know, in the olden days, they will say, can I use a Yoruba adage?
You're free.
It's like, it's two people that give birth to a child, but it's the entire community that trains the child. That word training there is policing. But when the entire community decides to shy away from little things, those little things, that boy that you could correct in primary school will become a dropout of secondary school that you cannot correct again. So the fact is that as citizens and as people in the community, we should always keep our eye open, and where we see things we need to correct, let us correct it. When you are correcting something and you see someone take a wrong approach to it, no, you can't correct him. There is always someone who is like a regulator that you can report to. Okay, I corrected this kid. They said I can't correct him. What is the nature of the crime you committed? This. Okay, there is a department in the Ministry of Youth that can take charge of this. Okay, Ministry of Youth, we are seeing this type of sign. Ministry of Youth might send their people to come directly. They might give signal just to a sister agency, the DSS, and the DSS will like, okay, in the area, this is what we are watching out for. Once it becomes common, okay, Ministry of Youth, this is the details you need to work with. All these agencies work hand in hand. So it's not just about those who are wearing uniform alone. It's about all of us. And I would say, we as citizens, our participation will help those in uniform. Those in uniform in the Lagos State as a whole, they are less than 200,000. But the total number of citizens in Lagos State, according to rough statistics, we're already over 10 million. So how do you use 200,000 to police 10 million? If we scale the ratio, it's almost impossible, except others in the community also help in doing the policing work.
So now, they still on citizens' engagement now. Are people fully aware that they have a role to play? As a member of the PCRC, what are your roles in ensuring or in educating people about their roles?
Okay. I want to say a lot of us are aware that we have our roles to play. And when I am using a lot of us, subconsciously in school, it has been part of the curriculum we have gone through. That say something, no, say something, no, don't let things go bad until you report this, that. Then on the formal sector, as an organization, the Police Community Relations Committee, all around the country, every month, in every divisional police station, we always have a meeting, engaging different stakeholders in this community. This month might be transport workers. Next month might be school administrators. The subsequent month might be hospital owners.
Okay.
Like that. We keep engaging, even with private sector firms. We keep engaging everybody we can engage to ensure that we help the work policing. At times, it might not be our official job, but if we decide not to do it, it might go bad. So the truth is, I would say, in all the 774 local governments, we have over 1,000 police stations. So if we're having monthly engagement every month, which we are having, in over 1,000 places, and we assume we are engaging 20 people, if we multiply it by 12, you should see the multiplier effects of that engagement. Notwithstanding, annually, or in some places, biannually, we still have engagement with students. Student tertiary institutions separate, primary and secondary schools separate. And you see when we are doing that, we do it usually with the district. They bring all those kids together, all their leaders in schools. We talk to them, we engage them. I would say nationally, we are now running schools club. in which we are creating schools in primary and secondary schools, clubs in primary and secondary schools, trying to ensure that we have teams that do that job, policing, like helping the school management, the teachers, the administrators of the schools to manage, okay, this boy is doing this, that is doing that. Because at times, when you say small crime in one school, it might have been 200 people in the school that are already participating in it. But when one of them can easily spot it at the early stage, it might not escalate before we nip it in the bud.
Okay, the word policing is still a bit hazy for me, and you know, since you've said that, or we now agree that, you know, it's now a shine your eye system for everyone. What's now the difference, or what is the role of the traditional policing we're used to, and now, you know, this community policing?
The traditional policing we were used to was a separate policing system from the present policing system. But the community policing structure we are running now in Nigeria, across board, is a structure in which all other security agencies relate directly with the police.
Okay.
So, you know, in the past, they will say if something happens in this community, they just take it to one bale, one chief, one baba, and they conclude it there. Something that should get to courts, they will conclude it. There might be also some other issues behind it, that when it escalates, it becomes uncontrollable.
Okay.
But when you take it to those places, okay, if we mediate and we can't get out of this, okay, because of some technicalities, take it to the next level.
Okay.
But now, all those agencies, both private security firms, those you see in banks, in different corporate places, vigilante groups and the likes, they now work directly and in alliance with the police.
With the traditional police.
With the traditional policing.
Okay.
So you now come to realize that in some places, when the police are going out for an operation, you see the police in normal uniform. You see man of war, join them. You see Amotekun, join them. You see vigilante, join them. Okay. They are now doing it collectively. Just like I said, you have a shortage of men. And when we have a shortage of men, if we don't work together at times, we might not be able to nip down a crime that is not easy.
But if this is going to make the traditional police work more effective, why was it opposed, you know, in some states during the Buhari administration?
You know, that case is a very complicated case.
Okay.
It is complicated because...
was that what Sunday Igboho was trying to do?
No.
That one is real.
It is complicated.
Okay.
Because I would say most of those places where it was opposed was because they were not willing to cooperate with the government established agencies. Someone wants to be like, I am the governor and the father of this area. Everything that happens here, I take charge of it and I settle it. Whether you are pleased with it or not, whether I am just or not, anything I say, I do must be final. So when you catch a criminal who is simply a suspect, has not been proven guilty, and you say, okay, my decision is let him go, let him die. He has not been taken to court. It has not been investigated. We've not known what is really going on behind the scene. At times when you catch one criminal, over 200 people are behind one criminal. We have not gotten the entire system, the entire gang, and you've just cleared one person. You've made the work policing hard or harder.
Okay.
So naturally, just like I said, they are now working directly with the police. Once there is any crime in their area, they pick up anybody, let's say vigilantes overnight, they will take the person to the police station, do their reports, community report, vigilante hard reports. Now the police now takes it up. There is some little intelligence the police will now work with and now quiz further.
Okay.
So if the police says, okay, this is something that is not a police station issue, okay, we have to take it to a higher level. We have to do interagency collaboration. The police now begins to engage further. Their job is not to engage the DSS, the vigilantes. Their job is not to engage the army, the vigilantes. But the police can engage directly, and they are working together.
Look at the case of the lady, of the youth corps member that was beaten and stripped naked in Anambra by vigilantes. You know, they said they invaded the vigilantes said they invaded the couple's apartment lodge because they got intelligence that they were practicing some kind of crime, which was fraud, Yahoo and all of that. And then they came in and they beat. Is that community policing too?
That is not community policing. That is why I said.
But they are saying something.
Anything they want to do,
saying
they must do it
and
directly.
they are doing something.
They must do it directly and in collaboration with the police.
Okay.
If they have intelligence ahead, Why not share it with the police?
They are not to enforce.
They are not to enforce.
Okay.
It is only when, let's say, it's an ongoing crime,
Okay.
they can come in. And just like I said, if they nip anybody, they should take the person to the police.
Okay.
They should not do jungle justice. Jungle justice is not allowed anywhere. And anywhere jungle justice is allowed, you are just looking for a system that will go into chaos. So just like you have just said, the old structure that some people were going against, they were going against it because those people who were running those structures wanted it to be independent, not collaborating or cooperating with the existing policing system.
And that can work.
And that can work. And that is just an example of it. Somebody will say he has intelligence since last week. You didn't share it with the police. The police did not share it with those that should do the right job. You now say you go for a sting operation. So that means you can say a young man who is working online, because he is working online, does not mean he is Yahoo.
It's Yahoo.
A lot of people now work from home in Lagos. So do we now say everybody working from home are Yahoos? That is the situation. So somebody will now say, because I just know that he used to go out, if he eats by, go back inside, go out in the morning, eats by, go back inside. But and he's always putting on lights.
His gen.
And running gen. Or he's on solar. That guy is doing Yahoo. It's suspicious. And we now say, if we feel it's suspicious, let's go and report it to the police. Let the police do the right job. Engage him. Investigate. Okay, no, this is his job. We now say, no, our gong, we want to go and do the sting operation. And it is not done like that. That is jungle justice. We'll be working with assumptions that are not correct.
Okay. I still want to talk about this community policing and, jungle justice. Okay, a lot of residents, or many, I won't say a lot, many residents do no longer have trust in traditional policing. And that is why we have cases of jungle justice. The issue of trust is an issue, is a big one, when it comes to traditional policing. Do you think community policing can now come and correct that trust issues?
I'll say one of the goals of community policing is to strengthen the trust issues. And we as citizens, we should also learn to do what is right and take every incident as a single incident. What do I mean by that? There are instances where, yes, we'll say in the official policing system, 1, 2, 3 persons in a year might do something that is against the law, that is wrong. We will be caught, we will be prosecuted. But we will now, because of 1, 2, 3 persons in uniform, castigate the action of over 200,000 people. So we want to use because of one case. It's just like the recent airline cases, which now say because of one case, we want to say all airline agencies are doing this, or they are always victimizing people, or they are not doing this right. Because of one person, we now say, no, the entire company, or all airlines are doing the same thing. We are just using, we want to use one dog to call all dogs a bad name. That is not true. Because a stray dog beats someone does not mean all dogs are stray dogs. Does not mean all dogs are not trained dogs. And does not mean all dogs will bite someone.
Okay, from experience now, what do you think are the challenges, facing community policing from experience as at now?
The challenges facing community policing are enormous.
Oh?
And we have to agree.
Oh, okay.
First is information management. At times within we, the community people, to manage the information we want to share with the police, somebody wants to share an intelligence with the police, and he will go and tell the next person, I want to share an intelligence.
I want to blow whistle.
Someone did whistleblowing yesterday, and the police came in, investigated, and they picked the person truly. And the person came out. It is me that did that whistleblowing for that person. If you misbehave, I'll do the same thing for you. That is one of those things. Another is within the policing system, we have to accept that I'll say utilities are not up to what is needed. Utilities like vehicles, like even the police stations, like the equipment in the police stations, for the police, the official police now, to work properly. We understand that the budget looks large to many of us.
I was going to say the budget for security.
You see the word I use. The budget
looks like
looks large.
Okay.
But when you divide the budget by just Hilux vans, last year we divided the federal budget for the Nigerian police force by Hilux vans of 36 million naira. And we got less than 774, meaning the entire budget for the Nigerian police force could not buy every division a Hilux van. But for us, we'll say, the figure is big. And that is why, while engaging in community policing at our levels, we do try to also encourage private agencies, encourage government agencies. Okay, see, if the federal budget cannot cater, state government, what can you add? That is why you had the LSSTF, the Lagos State Security Trust Fund.
Yeah.
Apart from the LSSTF, we still talk to local government. Chairman, you too, you have 4 divisions in your area with this. Please, can you donate one vehicle in a year? If they donate this year, can you also support them with other things to keep the vehicle running? At the same time, we still engage private agencies. Oh, company A, company B, company B. Please, these security people are working. We all see what they are doing. But the truth is, you see that that van has been parked there since last week. What can you do to help them bring it back up, keep it up and running? I was in a station some weeks back, and they were analyzing the cost they expended on a particular vehicle. They've run the entire running cost of the station on one vehicle, and it's not yet up. And that means one out of the vehicles they are using is down. So if another one goes down during that period, the running cost has been expended already. That one too will join. And that is why we, the people in the community, need to note, when that vehicle is bad, when that thing is not working, police, what happened? Okay, they just need to change the tire. The entire tire is just 40,000 naira. Okay, don't give them the cash. Buy the tire, give them. They'll fix it. When you think you need to give them the cash, do. When you think, okay, police, you know what? My friend owns a petrol station here. I have spoken to him. Every day, come and take 10 liters of fuel. You relieve them of what? Fuel. Meaning there is 10 liters for them to what? Patrol your area every day.
What you have just shared is good, but how many people would share the same sentiments with you? Because we were talking, I just had your police is your friend, but are they really our friends?
Police are really our friends.
Okay.
Because those you call police, that we all call police, they were not brought from mass.
They're from amongst us.
From amongst us. Some of them were our colleagues in school. Even some of us applied for the police job, just that we did not get it then. So if we had joined the police force, will we say we are now strangers in our community? I would say every name you see in the police force, you can trace it to one community in Nigeria.
So how do we help people see the traditional police system now in a different light?
I would not want to rush into people seeing the traditional police system in a different light. The first thing is the traditional police system willing to cooperate with the established police system.
Valid point.
When they decide to cooperate and they are now cooperating, it is the established police system that will tell you these are friends that you can also share what? Intelligence with. And truly, I would say in places where there is collaboration, you will see when the police wants to have any events, just look at the lineup on the high table. They will have a representative from all those traditional policing systems, and they give them opportunity to talk. They are introducing them to you as what? Our friends. But when you get to other communities, okay, you don't find it that way. That means they are not their friends in that end. So the traditional policing system also needs to understand that there is a protocol to work in the job policing officially. And they must be willing to cooperate with the established policing system for policing or community policing to be effective.
Okay, still talking about community policing, I want to look at our most vibrant population, which is the youth,
Yes.
who are a great concern when it comes to security. So how will community, or how can community policing now turn these youths to partners, if I can use that word, instead of continuing to see them as a problem?
I would say on the angle of community policing, youths have never been seen as a problem.
Okay.
What we really need to manage with our young people I'm also a very young person, which I need to tell my colleagues.
We're all young.
Sincerely. Which I need to tell
We're
my
all
colleagues.
young, yes.
Sincerely. Is for us to take emotions and sentiments out of every policing issue.
You are listening, all of us.
And for us to be patient with the system.
Okay, to be
At
patient.
times,
that is a big word.
at times, it might take a year to investigate a case.
Okay.
Let me give an instance. Some years back, a particular man was picked off dog peddling in a particular area. When the police picked him up, they realized it was beyond their jurisdiction at that level. They forwarded it to the next level. They shared interagency intelligence. It was eventually discovered that he was not just the only one peddling drugs in that community. He was working with a very big cartel, a cartel from diaspora. And now, we just want to see it as, okay, it's just that guy that is peddling drug. If you pick that guy out of it, the drugs are ended. No. That cartel is still having other people in the community and will still engage or employ another person to continue the job. But if we don't bust the entire cartel, we will not have cut the complete chain down. So if it now takes 1 year to get that entire job done, and you're now like, they caught him of peddling drugs yesterday. He should have been in court this morning. They should have sentenced him to death. He should have been in 25 years imprisonment. We'll just start rushing.
And this affects the trust of people in the system.
So we need to be patient. And we need to be less emotional. Because when we are too emotional about this issue, you want to do the job before the doctor does it. I don't know whether you get what I mean. You want to do the job before the doctor does it. At times, the doctor will say, do test A. He does test A. I don't see what I'm looking for. Do test B. You do test B. I don't see what I'm looking for. Do test C. You'll be like, doctor, I'm wasting money on tests. But he's trying to get the exact thing wrong so that he can be able to what? Prescribe the right medication. And that is how policing is. But when we are feeling, we brought a sick patient to the hospital, the doctor should just treat and the patient should be out the next day. Some patients will use 1 year in the hospital. Some will use 1 week. Some will not even rest on the bed for 1 minute. But all will eventually get well if they are patient with the doctor. And that is the concept of policing.
I want to take you back to, there was a point you made while you were answering one of our questions when you talked about the role of, I need you to talk about the role of traditional leaders and community leaders as well when we are talking about community policing now, because I have heard of cases where you even mentioned it, where crimes take place in some communities and then they just take it to maybe the baales or the those who are in the helm of affairs in that community, and they just either judge wrongly or just keep it aside instead of transferring the case to the traditional police system. Now, as the PCRC, do you engage with these traditional rulers and community leaders for them to understand their roles even in community policing?
Truly, we engage with them. And I would say many of them are now working with us. Many of them are now working with us. Does not mean their men are totally committed to working with us. I would say it's a particular thing being the traditional leader. It's another thing appointing people to manage security for you. Because I have to tell you truthfully, those traditional leaders are not the one managing the security of their community. Yeah. They usually employ people. It might be, let me use the Yoruba word, it might be a balogun. Okay, every other thing that has to do with security, go to balogun. Until it escalates from balogun's end, before it comes to what? The baale or the oba's end. But in the official policing system, should the balogun be the judge? Is the balogun a court? Is the balogun trained on judicial processes? And I will say, because I am the balogun, anything I do must be done. I must be accepted the way I do it. You get things like that. So, and that is where we have some little frictions. But I know we are working day in, day out to improve on cooperation, collaboration, because we want our communities to be safer and, if possible, the safest. And just like we all know, here in Lagos, the collaboration has gotten to a very high level, a very serious level of engagement, that even the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs are also involved in the entire process. And you will see that in Lagos, We all know that Lagos is more peaceful than every other state in Nigeria. I used to say Lagos is a different country. Because when you're out of Lagos, you realize, okay, the policing system has changed and every other thing has changed.
Okay, let's talk about technology now in security. You know, as I said earlier, technology is changing security management, and how are tools like CCTV,
Cameras.
emergency hotlines, which we also mentioned here, 767 and 112, and even social media, how are these tools now improving citizen engagement?
I'll say, let me pick it one after the other. Technology as a whole is a very good tool to improve policing in our society.
Okay.
But if we use it rightly and do it rightly, we'll get the right results. Firstly, for everybody having a CCTV camera, the right thing you should do is not to be the only one reviewing your camera. Let the security agencies around you also review. Let's assume we are in an estate.
Have access to
we are in an estate.
Okay.
We have a security agency in the estate, managing the estate.
Managing the estate, yeah.
If I have a CCTV camera in my house, I should give them access. If you don't give them access, and let's say criminals burgle your house, and while an operation is on, although your CCTV camera is recording, people that might vanish, people that are masked, people that might take another 2-3 years to investigate them.
To unveil.
The security agencies at the gates have seen that House 10 is under fire and they have to start moving. And as they want to move, they are also signaling the police, and the police is signaling security agencies, other sister agencies. House 10 in this place is on fire. This perimeter, let us cordon it. Most likely, if the criminals they are successful in burgling that house, they will not be successful in moving it out of the community.
Yeah.
But when you say you are the only one, you are the alpha and omega of your CCTV camera.
But it's part of protection.
It's part of protection.
Yeah.
But eventually, they've gone far away. We all understand that cross-border crime has become a very high thing in recent times. So, and the division in your area is looking for people that are masked with these features, and they keep looking, and they did not get. Okay, let's say because of the voice audio that was picked, they realized this tone is not this. But with this tone, Lagos is a cross-cultural or multicultural society. Where do we start going? They will now start sharing intelligence gradually. Before they now go around Lagos, we still cannot get these people. Okay, let us now share it to the larger circle. What should have been achieved within one day? We'll be working on it for another 6-7 months. And you know, when the security agencies are working on this for a longer period, it will be diverting their attention from the immediate situation. So for that is just the start of CCTV. Once you have your own, share it with the security agencies, so that you are not the only one reviewing. They are also reviewing for you simultaneously.
I'm sure many Nigerians will not agree with that.
Because this is my first time of hearing that.
I would just tell you that the best is to agree with it. You might not give them the access to delete, but the access to watch and rewatch.
Okay.
Lifetime, real time,
yeah. Okay.
That access is very important.
It's important, yeah.
That is why I said what would have been nipped real time might take 2 years to pick the criminals. And in short, the criminals might not even get picked until it becomes what we call a serial crime. That, okay, this pattern, okay, we are now following this pattern. From here it moved, We are now seeing or could draw a line.
Okay.
The same thing applies to all other devices.
Like the 767, I talked about.
The 767, I have to say that line is usually overburdened. But we have no option, because somebody is calling from, okay, one person from all the 57 local governments is calling simultaneously, 57 people. And you're having 20 calls in a day for each line or for each phone. So 57 times 20. And look at it. Just multiply that number. It's already more than the number of divisions we have in Lagos.
Two numbers.
That is 57 times just 20. Just those two numbers. Then you now say, okay, the limited number of people in the police force will easily manage that volume of traffic in a day. it will not be easy for us to put ourselves in their shoes. And that is why when we share intelligence with them, they would have been able to solve a crime even before someone reports it officially. So when you are reporting it officially, okay, what you reported is what happened there. They just put it together, and that case is closed.
I wanted to touch on sharing of intelligence reports now. That's for citizens who want to become whistleblowers but want to do it in the right way. The issue of their safety is a major concern. So how do we ensure that those who come to share genuine intelligence reports, their identity are secured?
Okay, firstly, I would say for everyone that has tried to share genuine intelligence reports the right way, in quotes, the right way, we tell you they've never had any issues with their integrity. Firstly, I'll say if you are to share an intelligence at the lowest level, the divisional police station, share directly with the DPO. That is the head of that station. In case the DPO is not around, the next person is around, the SO is usually around. If your information is compromised at that end, we can hold somebody who has a career progression he is pursuing responsible. But one person who wants to move up will not want to tarnish his image on just a very small case. I don't know whether you get me.
Yeah.
Secondly is, we usually have official lines for police, army, DSS, all security agencies that they share at intervals on their media channels. Pick the official lines, save it. You don't know when you will need it to. So that when you have an intelligence you want to share, if you share with the police and DSS, if it takes the police 48 hours to pick it up, DSS might have picked it up in 2 hours. The army might have picked it up in 30 minutes. So by the time, just like we are saying, because multiple people are already pursuing a particular case simultaneously at the right times, you realize that the case will be closed easily, and you will not see anybody who has followed that particular part, the official channel, say, I followed the official channel and the criminal identified me. Because that channel cannot be compromised. Whoever compromises at that point, let us leave it to court martial.
Now, Lukman, finally, what message, would you like to pass to Lagos residents, about their role in ensuring a safer city through community policing and citizens' engagement?
The first thing I want to tell Lagos residents is, when you see something, say something and do something.
I think we have to make Joshua
and when
ambassador.
you need to double it, double it as well.
Okay.
So that your community becomes safer and you will enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. Okay,
community policing is more than a strategy. It is more like partnership, because everybody is involved. Yes. Lukman Eniton Amino, spokesperson, Lagos State Community Policing Committee and Southwest Geopolitical Region Youth Coordinator of the Police Community Relations Committee. My teeth is going to follow. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nigeria.
We'll be right back after this short break.